Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Readings from the Heart. Hello, who's all here? Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Oh, I have to adjust my mic. Hey, Anissa, how are you? Where are you from? Did I say that right? Anissa? Hello, greetings. Welcome. I got it right. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Where are you in the world? I see my friend Rhonda. Hey, Marika. Good evening from Finland. Yes, good evening to you. What time is it there? Where is everyone? Everyone is holiday busy? I don't know. We were gonna see how long it takes them to show up today. Hello, David from the UK. Good to see you. Ontario. I used to live in Rochester, so I know Ontario reasonably well. Hello, welcome. How's the sound? How do I sound? How is the music? I am so looking forward to having a new setup for my live streaming in the very near future, where I have all my good stuff. Almost no music. Oh no. Yes, I have been having trouble getting the music. How's that now? That is full volume for the background music. As long as you can hear me, fine. I like to include the music, but you don't hear it. Huh. That's weird. All the settings are fine. Let's see about this one. You're a little hard of hearing. Oh, it happens. You hear it now. Okay. Maybe it's just delayed. Hello, Peter Brook. Welcome. Good morning. If you are a friend from the future. Hello, Peter Brook. Welcome to you. Nice to see you too, David. How is everyone holding up for the holidays so far? I'm sorry, but I don't know. Do I look okay? Because I feel like my camera is doing weird things. I look awfully fuzzy to me. Isn't it cozy? Thank you, Rhonda. Yes. This is just... I imagine that if it were snow and I were actually living in the mountains, this is what it would look like. You're seeing me okay? All right. I'm very quality picky lately, I guess. The lighting is not great in this room either, so I think that is having an effect. Hey, Ren! Good to see you. Emilio had focusing issues earlier? Oh, I don't know Emilio, but I feel bad for him then. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's my camera because... yeah, something's wonky with it, but we'll just go with the flow here. As is the case in life, we do not need to be perfect. We just need to be present. Hi, Ren. Hi, you. How are you guys today? Happy holidays to everybody. I have another cozy background that I can show. I spent 15 minutes looking for new holiday backgrounds. What do you guys think of this one? I don't like it as much as the other one. The other one feels cozier, but it is a lovely one, yes. And then we have... I do too, Rhonda, yeah. This is sort of fun, but it didn't feel like the right vibe for today. But, you know, got some snowflakes falling. And then this one's kind of sweet. But yeah, I think cozy is the vibe. Plus, I love these ones that make it look like I'm, actually here. I can't tell you how many times people have come into the live stream and said, like, wow, your home is gorgeous, or the view outside your window is amazing. And then I have to reveal to them that it's a virtual background. But yes, wouldn't it be lovely to just imagine just hanging out on this bed? Here, let me shut. I know, the simplest things that are, look at that. Wouldn't you want that in your bedroom at some point? I mean, as long as it's warm, right? Unless you like the cold and the snow. I like the snow. Yeah, maybe someday I'll stay in a cabin in the snowy mountains like that. Yes, I agree, David. Much better. We like cozy, and there's something about having the fireplace going and a look out the window. Just lovely. So how are you guys going with your holidays? What's going on in your spiritual journey? Where are you at in this moment? I'm gonna take my hat off. Rhonda is focusing on the breath while digging the cozy. Jenny's had hard moments this week. Hello, my dear. Yes, you have. I know. I am happy to say that this month has been 1 year of Insight Timer Lives for me. Isn't that wild? It's exciting. I can't remember what my first live date was, but it's been a whole year. I have known many of you for a whole year. I love that. And there's more to come. David has been wrapping presents. You had like 50 to do? That's crazy. Hello, Linda. Yes, take us all on a walk with you, Linda. Ren and you are on a little vacation. Spiritually, things have been interesting. Just had a visit from the Morrigan. Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that name or term, but I don't know anything about it. Yes, Jenny, this is where we met, and you've been such a big part of my life. Oh, thanks. You too. What a great friend. You've all been amazing people in my life. Jenny is my dear, dear friend. We're funny. It's funny because our human design is practically the same. So fascinating. Thank you, Dee. Yeah, I love the fire too. It's really lovely. Perhaps someday I'll have a cozy bedroom like this that has a fireplace. Although I don't like putting fresh wood in, so it would have to be a artificial or electric fireplace or something. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Ren. It's quite amazing. And it's lovely to have all of you with me on the ride. Erica! Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I'm still just slightly bummed that I won't get to see you tomorrow. I'm going to Erica's house tomorrow for a few weeks. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I actually, it's so fascinating. I've been a mess about changing locations, but it started. Oops! I just knocked my earplug out. It started to even out at the beginning of the week, and then I had this amazing but a session with Susan Sage yesterday, and unearthed some powerful stuff from when I was 4 and when I was 40. And I'm now taking the spirit of play from my 4-year-old self and the spirit of trust and faith and leaps of faith and going on an adventure forward. And it feels so incredibly different. And today I was really excited because I'm doing all sorts of brand new things for me. So like I've never used Uber, and I'm going to use Uber tomorrow because I haven't had a cell phone until recently. Well, the last time I had a cell phone prior to this was 2009. So I lived without a cell phone for a long time. And all of these new apps and everything, they weren't around back in 2009. Yeah, wow, I was right. So tomorrow I get to use Uber for the first time. I'm having groceries delivered for the first time tomorrow night. That was actually pretty fun to set that up. Well, I guess it's fancy. It's more out of necessity / laziness. Yeah, so, and I'm getting to see all these different places in the country that I've never seen before. So Fort Collins has been lovely, and now I'm going to Denver. After that, we don't know. We don't know. It could be somewhere in Arizona. It's either going to be somewhere in Arizona or, well, unless if somebody, I don't know, perhaps Spirit requires me to be of assistance to somebody somewhere. But my intention is to go warmer, so that'll be Arizona or Southern California. I have been invited by a dear longtime friend in San Diego to come down and visit and check out that area. Using our resources. Thank you, Rhonda. Yes, it's not laziness, it's convenience. And I will pay for convenience when I want to, but not all the time. Cell phone liberation. It was really nice. It was really nice. Google Voice was a great substitute over the years. Skype was originally, and then I used Google Voice for many years. But now that I have this part-time job and they use WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is only usable when you have a cell phone, and I need to be available for the job things, it's been fun to have a phone again. Oh, Linda, you did too? When your knee was wonky. I remember. How has your knee been? It's been a while since your knee's been wonky, hasn't it? All right, raise your hand in chat if you were here with us on my lives a year ago, last December. Raise your hand in chat. I know we already know Jenny was. Linda, I think you were here. Rhonda, I think you were here too. Can't remember. Peter Brook, 6 months for David. Yeah, I can't remember either, Peter Brook. Oh, that's funny. Is anyone brand new to my lives today? Say hi. Wow, Linda, 14,000 steps a day. Can I borrow some of those? No, I do walks. Anissa, you're new. Excellent. Welcome. Glad to have you. My name is Greg Phillips. I am here to guide people into the depths of their hearts. I've still struggled with figuring out what label to use, and labels don't really matter, or title, I should say. Anyways, I do that through a number of ways. Energy readings, energy healing. I have my own technique for that. I do a lot of channeled messages in this live. And we also do something that many of us here really love, which is called Sacred Energy Journeys. And that's what the live is going to be next week. Next week's live, Spirit and Soul Sleigh Ride. So Sleigh Ride, I usually don't know the theme this far in advance. But that's an energy journey live stream. And we're going to go on a sleigh ride, and that'll be the visual theme that we start. Just, because it's the day after Christmas. So even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you are welcome to come and join us for the Spirit and Soul Energy Journey sleigh ride. It'll be lots and lots of fun. Marika, your first time too? Wonderful. Glad to have you. So this is how it works here with Greg here on Readings from the Heart. So everybody has a chance at a reading. In a moment, I'm going to start taking names, and we'll add them into this app called Wheel of Names. And it lets the universe choose, so that Spirit is choosing who gets called on. And this ends up being quite fun and actually easier for me. And it gives everybody who comes in late an opportunity to get a reading still too, because instead of a sequential list. So that said, was there anything else? I can't remember what I also introduced. Oh yeah. That's about it. So it's almost 15 minutes in. Let's go to the names. Who would love to have a reading today? Just say, I would, in the chat. David, or me, that works too. Nisa, Jenny, Marika, PB. Who else? Rhonda. Allison. Hey, Allison. Missed you. How are ya? And thanks for saying please. So polite, so sweet. Let's see, did I get everybody? Oh, I'm happy you're here too. All right, I've got David, Anissa, Gemini, Jenny, Marika, Peter Brooke, Rhonda, Allison. Who else? Who else feels like they would like a reading today? Also, for those of you who are already signed up for my newsletter, questions for the council. Deadline is Saturday. If you've got questions, please email them to me. Okay, we'll start off with a short list. Ren, you want to be added? Okay, let's get you on the wheel here. And you. Okay, cool, perfect. Hey, it happens. Phones die. It happens. All right, I gotta shuffle, keep you guys separate. All right, my friends, before I spin the wheel, let's take a moment and just drop in. So if you are in a physical position to be able to close your eyes, I invite you to do so. If you are not, as I suspect my dear friend Jenny is currently grooming a puppy dog, let's do something different then. Close your eyes if you can, if it's safe, if you wish. Of course, Linda is walking, so probably not a good idea either. But what I would invite you to do is bring the fullness of your attention all the way down into your feet. All the way down to the bottom of your feet, to the soles of your feet. Use your mind to trace the outline of your foot, of your feet, both feet actually. Trace the outline of your feet on the floor or ground beneath them. And if you are moving or standing or walking in some way, do this every time your foot touches the ground. And picture that you are leaving energetic footprints with every step. And if you're sitting, feet flat on the floor, I want you to just focus on, put your attention into these footprints. How thick is the line that creates the outline of the footprint? How deep is the footprint? How big is it? Is there a glow or a light associated with it? Is there color that you can see or a color that you can feel? And if you are sitting, I invite you to imagine that you are walking in your most favorite physical environment. Perhaps it's in the trees and vegetation near a waterfall, or in a snowy background like what's in my picture in the video. And just be mindful of the footprints that you are leaving behind. Energetic footprints, not physical ones. And then pause for a moment and allow these footprints to move on their own, gently making their way energetically up your body, up your legs, as though they are walking up your body all the way up to the center of your chest, to your very heart chakra, to your beautiful, beautiful heart space. And when they arrive there, take a moment and just ask your heart, what is it I am most seeking guidance around today? What question or topic is most important for me to ask about? And whatever response you get, if you don't get one, it means you're pretty much open to anything. If you do get one, if it makes sense to you, hold on to that, cherish that, hold it close to your heart, and just appreciate it. Thank your heart for letting you know that this is what is most important today. This is what you are most seeking guidance around today. And just lock your energy into that question or comment or topic. Set your intention that you really want to know exactly what is highest and best for you today, regardless of the answer, regardless of how the answer comes or is delivered or when it comes. And hold that deep in your heart while I spin the wheel. Yay! Our first winner on the wheel of good guidance today is Rhonda! Yay, Rhonda! You knew it! Yes! Look at that, Rhonda. Your intuition getting stronger and stronger all the time. I love it. Yay, we love to celebrate who gets called on because we know that it is divine. You have been divinely selected. All right, Rhonda, how can I be of assistance to you today? What guidance do you seek? I actually really love this virtual background. It really is cozy, isn't it? Rhonda asks, what do I need to take care of me and also my parents? Excellent question, my dear. On the simplest level, Rhonda, what you need to take care of your parents is taking care of yourself. This is it's funny. I wonder the origins of this, but you've probably heard a million times the airplane reference where you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you assist others. I would really love to know where that came from. But the thing is that it is absolutely accurately true when it comes to caring for ourselves and caring for our loved ones. If we don't have anything to give, if we do not have spaciousness in our heart, in our lives, availability of our energy, if we do not have room for that, and it's important to us in taking care of particularly our ailing parents, and I know all about that, it's so important to find spaciousness wherever you can. So the concept that I'm getting, it's quite often in these type of caring situations, and by caring I mean caring for a loved one, that when you already have a busy life, it feels like an inconvenience. At times, it is frustrating at times, and it is stressful many, many times. And so when you do not actually when the density of your life is such that you don't have physical spaciousness or spaciousness of time, right? When everything's a rush or when there's urgencies and whatnot, the utmost and most beneficial thing you can do is give yourself spaciousness in your heart. I'm going to see if the guides have anything to say about this. Two guides. They're giving me the very image that we started with, of the footprints, the energetic footprints being left on the ground. Our dear Rhonda, it is absolutely vital as you continue this particular journey with yourself and with your dear parents that you seek the spaciousness that you need for self-care and for the care of others within your individual moments. So if you take the opportunity right now to go back into the visualization of picturing yourself walking through your most favorite physical environment, as Greg invited you to do at the beginning, and tuning into the energetic footprint that you leave on the ground, on the earth, as you are traversing it. When you do this, look at it with the focus of the mindful observer, describing it such as we do in Sacred Energy Journeys. And take note at any given moment, how bright is the energy that I am currently leaving behind? Our recommendation to you is that if you are going on this quick little mini journey, if you will, and you are looking at your energetic footprints and you are seeing that they are looking a little dull, that means that you are requiring some internal spaciousness. And by internal spaciousness, there are many different ways to accomplish that. One of the most powerful is to simply stop for a moment and return to your heart space. You can use many of the different tools that have been shared to you over time. We know that Greg's, one of his favorite is a Heart Teach My Mind. This is a very powerful tool at this time as you go through the stress and the challenges, the frustrations, the ups and the downs, the ins and the outs of caring for an elderly parent. And this is probably the greatest gift that you could ever give to them, is loving yourself. Does that make sense, Rhonda? They're really showing that if you tune into the energetic footprint that you are currently leaving as you go through your day, you can, because of your connection to energy journeys, I think this is a real powerful tool for you. So if you can tune in and you can catch how bright, how shiny, or how dull it is, right? Then it's a quick little indicator of whether you need a little dose of self-love, a dose of spiritual connection, a dose of centering, a dose of just being present in the moment. I mean, even just checking in to look at your energetic footprints requires you to be present. So the very act of doing that helps ground you and brings you in. And then you know, like, oh, they're looking mighty dull. That means I need to take care of myself. That means that the energy that I'm actually bringing into the world right now, into any given situation, is kind of dull. Not dull in a judgmental or negative way, it's not shining as brightly as you know it can. And then really in that moment, be honest with yourself. You see flames, that's awesome. She's on fire. That's okay, I love it. Let's see. I mean, that could mean a multitude of different things. Let me just wrap up that one concept though. In the moment, yeah, this girl is on fire. I love it. So in the moment of checking your energetic footprint, and everybody can do this at any time, in the moment of checking your energetic footprint, if you are seeing that it is not very bright, it's dim, in that moment, be completely honest and real with yourself. I don't have anything to give to other people. I don't even have a moment's time right now. Okay, I need to do something really quick. It could be the heart teach my mind or whatever. But where your footprint is currently at, you're not. This is true of anything that's vibrational or frequency related. The goal isn't to be jumping from very dim to super, super bright, right? It has to be progressive. If you are only capable of brightening it a smidge, that's fine. But also acknowledge it's still it's not very bright, so this is not necessarily a good time for me to be giving of myself. This is the time for me to be giving to myself. Does that make sense? Now the flames. What color are the flames, Rhonda? Yeah. Orange and yellow, but not burning the ground. Exactly. I'm sensing that these are a visual representation of the spark that is your intention. Your intention for peace, your intention for love, your intention for wellness, your intention for quality care and loving care for your parents, your intention for all things to be well. This is very much a reflection of your personal power, which is on fire right now. I love it. Very cool. Love that question. Anything else on that? Are you feeling complete? You need more clarity on any of that? You're welcome, dear. You are complete. Fantastic. Welcome if you're just getting in. Anybody can get a reading here on Readings from the Heart. If you would like to get your name on the wheel, please just speak up and chat and I will add you. Also, if it's your first time, please say hi. Tell us where you're from, how you're feeling, what you're doing. We love greeting friends we have never met before and get to meet for the first time. Look at that, it was just 3:33 in terms of the timer on the live stream. All right, no more names. Anybody else want a reading? Get on the list for a reading. All right, we'll spin again. No, that's fine. Yeah, parents doc. Oh, okay. All right, let's spin again and see what we get. Oof, it just passed the cusp. Ren, you are the next lucky winner from the Wheel of Good Guidance. Yay, Ren. Hey, Joanne, how are you? You have a new picture. Joanne has a new picture. Oh, it looks good. All right, Ren. How can I be of assistance to you today? What guidance do you seek? Hello, good morning. There's Inga. Hi, Inga. I haven't seen you in ages. How are you? Ren asks, what do I need to know for the next phase of my healing? The The most important thing you need to know for the next phase of your healing is that it's already completed. It is 150%, it is 100% absolutely and perfectly completed. Which means, since there is no past or future, you are 100% whole right now. Absolute well-being already exists for you, already exists for all of us. Everything you're hoping for and wanting regarding your healing is all in the moment. And as Bashar often says, many people misunderstand manifestation and attraction, thinking that you are drawing something that does not exist to yourself, or something that does not exist into an existence. And I love how he talks about this, because this resonates so powerfully with me as being 100% true. Especially now that I understand that there is no time, there is no past, there is no future. Everything exists and occurs in the now. And because I understand this now and believe it, I am confident in saying that your healing is 100% complete. So what's fascinating about this, though, is that you may not be perceiving it. So he speaks a lot about what manifestation is getting ourselves into a state of being, and this usually implies a vibrational frequency state of being, where in which we can actually perceive that which already exists. And so how do we do that? The first, and probably one of the most difficult, is to just stop telling stories based on not being whole. I do it too. I spent the last couple weeks really stressing and worrying about not just this next change of location, but ultimately my landing somewhere. And I was caught up in old beliefs about my worthiness, my capability, my availability, the battle between what I need and what I prefer. And it was stressing me out. It was like I was dumping my energy out of myself everywhere. It was so draining. It was absolutely, yeah, it was pretty icky. But I could see what I was doing, and I could feel, most importantly, I could feel that I was giving my power away to these old beliefs. And I couldn't quite put my finger on what they were until I got some assistance with it, which, when you need help getting to the bottom of a outdated belief that is no longer serving you, it's always a good thing to ask. So, what are you believing about your healing, Ren, that is keeping you in a state of being where you do not see yourself as whole? Ren says, it's beautiful. I feel closer to my higher self every day. Working out the kinks in my ego has been the dance lately. Well, guess what? Those kinks aren't really kinks. I know you're using the turn of a phrase, so to speak. Those darn narratives all need to go. They really alter our perception. Okay, so first off, feel into the vibration of that statement. Ask yourself, say that statement to yourself out loud. Those darn narratives all need to go. They really alter our perception. Well, what you are stating is factual. How does it feel? Does it feel allowing, or does it feel resistant? Because those darn narratives have a reason for existing, both at the same time somehow. Yes, okay, that makes sense. That's what I felt in. It's the minute I asked that question, I was like, she's gonna say both. So what you have going on is you have a very powerful intention, Ren, but you also have a lot of resistance. So those darn narratives all need to go. Absolutely agreed. But just that part of that phrase has a level of resistance to it. It holds, I can feel it holding a perspective of looking at those narratives and invalidating them. But here's the thing, all the struggles, all the challenges, all the old narratives, all the old beliefs, they're all stepping stones to who we are today and who we're becoming in the moment. So when we look at those and we're like, or I wish I didn't have those, or those are horrible, and I got to get rid of those, blah, 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 that is more resistance. That is invalidating their very existence and the purpose that they serve. And what you're wanting to do instead is you're wanting to look at it, embrace it, nurture it, love it, like not necessarily feed it, but hold a space for it and ask, why are you here? In the session I had yesterday, we did that with my 4-year-old. And my 4-year-old had an experience. It's not me, I didn't have that experience, my 4-year-old did. So that's a memory of somebody else's experience, a former Greg, not me. But my 4-year-old had this experience where he determined that he could not rely on adults to believe him. And so he was unable to believe in himself. And as I was listening, I got really in touch with how he embodied my sense of play. And for anyone who really knows me, I love to play. I'm really big on games, and my family's big on games, and I have a playful heart and a playful spirit, and play is just absolutely important to me. And he's who I get it from. So I spent a moment with him and I said, when you are playing, how does it feel? And he said, it's awesome. I'm like in this beautiful zone where I'm just having fun, and I'm imagining or creating, and it's just unfolding really easily and effortlessly. And I said, do you need anyone else while you're playing? Do you need to rely on anyone else while you are playing? And he was like, oh, no, I don't. When I play, I'm relying on myself. And in that moment, he then now not only embodied play, but he embodied belief in oneself, because he acknowledged his isness. He acknowledged the very essence of what he represents, which is the play. Of course, I was doing that at the same time. So, yeah, it's like acknowledging, but we didn't get there until he and I could acknowledge that he had created a belief that he could not so much trust adults, but that he couldn't rely on them, and that they never believed him, and they didn't understand him, and they wouldn't listen to him, and all those stories, right? But the minute we shifted that, we acknowledged them, we didn't make them bad. I didn't tell him, oh, you shouldn't think that way, you shouldn't feel that way. That's what he created. That's the belief he created. And it served some purpose for however long, but it doesn't serve anymore, because it's now that belief is getting in the way of now Greg moving forward with his dreams, with his living his life of his choosing. And so it was so beautiful to be present with all that, to help him acknowledge his isness, his playfulness, and then he was able to drop and let go of those beliefs. Therefore, I'm dropping and letting go of those beliefs. Does that make sense, Ren? How is that sitting with you? Rhonda says it's really resonating with her too. It's not even just focusing on the good, Rhonda. It's just like I've said all these years. not years, but yeah, allowing all things to be in their own time and place. Loving allowance for all things to be in their own time and place, starting with ourselves. That includes our narratives. That includes our belief systems, both the ones that feel good and the ones that don't, the ones that align with our preferences and the ones that don't. When you are out and about and you are noticing something that you don't prefer, yes, it may not feel good. It might anger you. It might, who knows how you're going to feel about it. You clearly don't prefer it. But you don't have to invalidate it. You don't have to point at it in your mind and say, that's wrong, that's bad, that should go away. No, it's there for a reason. When you taste a food that you don't like the taste of, in that moment, you are creating a new preference for some other food, for some other taste, rather than that one, right? It's just like our GPS systems. When you make a wrong turn, and the Jeep and you go off the path that the GPS had tracked for you, right? The GPS doesn't go, you horrible piece of crap, what the hell are you doing? Why did you turn left when I told you to turn right? What the F is going? They don't do that. They just go, calculating, calculating, calculating. Oh, and here's the new direction. Here's the alternate. Here's the adjusted trajectory, the adjusted path to go where you wanted to go. Mildred, that is a very good question. If you would like, we could put you on the list for a reading for that. Mildred asks, how do I do that with my codependency? It's a powerful question. Loving curiosity and allowance. Yeah, curiosity is powerful too. Bashar talks about it all the time. Ren says, I think I need to start viewing all my parts through a lens of love. Yes, please, Ren. All of your parts, even the ones that are owie and hurting, they're there to say something. They have a story to tell just as much as you do. And their story is being told this way because they are representing some belief system or thought pattern that is keeping you from perceiving all that beautiful wellness. And they're letting you know that. That's why it hurts. That's why the body hurts. It doesn't hurt because it hurts. It hurts because something internally, something in our belief system, in our thinking, in our definitions is hurting us. So it's hurting us emotionally, hurting us spiritually. So the body's going, hey, you haven't been paying attention. So now something physical is going to flare up so that you can pay attention. I'll give you an example. When I'm out walking and a pain starts to flare up, sometimes my knee, sometimes my foot cramps or something, I don't go into, oh crap, this again, or blah, blah, whatever. What I do is I listen to it and I slow down. It's hurting because my pace is too fast, or it's hurting because I'm walking too hard. It's hurting because I'm obsessing about something instead of being present to the walk and in the moment. And when I slow down and I tap in and I feel that piece of my body, could be knee, could be shin, could be foot, whatever, could be back, who knows, doesn't matter. And I just allow it. I just give it space and I let that move through. Within like 5 or 10 minutes, the pain's gone. Compare that in contrast to noticing the pain and obsessing about it, or like suddenly being like, shit, there's another pain. Oh my God, I already have this one over here and I already have that. Oh my God, I don't have time to deal. No. Let it all go. Let it all go. Relax into it. That's all the pain is asking, is that you relax into it. When I get sick and I have a bad cold or a sinus infection, I get really grumpy personally too. But then how do I get better? I focus on how good it's going to feel when I feel whole again, because that shifts the perception so that I can perceive the wholeness and then receive the wholeness. Perceive and receive. Yeah. Ren says, because love is the truth, and as you say, I'm already whole, safe and healed and whole, really. I need to validate myself This clicks perfectly. Oh, I love this view, Ren. Wonderful. Being present has been a huge theme for me lately. She says working through repressed fears also, which is why the Morgan came to me recently. I appreciate your wisdom, Greg. You're welcome. I didn't even have to talk to the guides on that one. That was fun. Thank you, Ren. It sounds like, are you complete, my dear? So cool. Really good question. I think that resonated with a lot of people, not just Rhonda. Oh, good, Anissa. I'm glad. Yay. Thanks, Ren, for your beautiful seeking. It's a powerful, powerful question. And I believe that we were in service of many people right at that moment. So thank you for seeking that guidance. Yay. Allison says that was beautiful. Anissa says it was an incredible message. Mildred, do you want to get on a list for a reading? Your question is more complicated than I can answer right now. But I'd be happy to put your name on. Okay, no problem. It's on the wheel, so we'll see if the universe picks. Anyone else want to get on? Yes, wonderful, Ren. Grateful to you too. Anyone else want to get on the list for a reading? You're welcome, Mildred. Thank you for your asking. Without an asking, without a question. Well, no, actually, I'm of service no matter whether you have questions or not. But the asking is what draws in the answers, right? So it's really powerful. All right, anybody else? Shuffling the deck. And spinning. Oh, okay, Mar. I will spin. We'll add you after this. All right, Allison, you're next. Yay, Allison. Woohoo! Congratulations, you are the next winner from the Wheel of Good Guidance. How can I be of assistance to you today? What guidance do you seek? And while Allison is typing, next Thursday, the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, we're having a very special spirit and soul session. If you've never been on an energetic journey with me, they are absolutely amazing. They're super fun. They can be so powerful that you're gobsmacked into not being able to say a darn thing. And they're truly meaningful transformation. And sometimes they're just sweet and lovely. So we're doing that next Thursday. And then Wednesday, January 1st, come start the new year with us. Come join us for the Celebrate Love Party, the very first one of 2025. We're kicking off 2025 with the theme of love. It's a sacred energy journey based on the theme of love. It happens on Zoom. Cameras are optional. And if you really enjoy the energy of my lives and any of the sacred journeys that we've been on, it's really a beautiful, deep, moving, personal, and community kind of experience to come on the Zooms with us. So please do consider it. You just have to go to my teacher link here, yaygreg.com, to sign up for that. And that's the first Wednesday of every month. So we're going to continue to do that. I'm staying stateside. The time might change when I land wherever I'm going to land. But yes, please do come join us. It truly is recommended by even, not just me, even Allison there is saying highly recommended. Yeah, it's a really, really beautiful space to build community and have a sense of belonging and have meaningful transformation. So come join us. Anything we do here, even readings from the heart, is powerful. All right, let's see what Allison says. Allison asks, as I move into a more heart-led life, I'm looking for guidance on how to navigate my relationships with those closest around me. Fantastic. Beautiful question. Very, very deeply coming from your heart. Our dear, dear Allison, navigating relationships is not all that dissimilar to navigating anything else. When you are driving your car and you are headed to a desired or preferred location, how do you get around? How do you navigate this if you are going somewhere you have never been? How do you navigate it if you are going somewhere that you have been once or twice? How do you navigate it if you are going somewhere that you have been many, many times? Each instance is slightly different, right? So many, many times you could, we don't recommend this, but you could almost drive blindfolded, for you certainly know the way. Indeed. Once or twice, you may require some external assistance regarding checking street names, where to turn, etc. First time, you probably, if you are internet savvy, will have probably looked it up, or perhaps somebody already gave you directions and you wrote them down if you were not internet savvy. Regardless, you are gaining assistance in those two-letter situations with a little bit of outside help. So, how does this look across all three different navigating experiences? Well, what you don't realize when you are going somewhere that you have been quite frequently and that you are very familiar with the path, indeed, you are probably so familiar that you enjoy taking alternate routes just to mix it up, quote unquote, to have a change of scenery, or perhaps you drive one way that is faster and familiar to get you there, and then on the way back you'd like to take the quote unquote scenic route, perhaps to see something different and new. Both of these routes, all of these different routes, are familiar with you. However, what you do not realize is that in the moment, you are using the exact same faculties of perception, whether you are driving to somewhere that you do not know about or have never been, or are driving somewhere that you have been before many times. It's just different because the perception that you are using, mental and visual, sensing the energy as you go, really is what you're doing, is familiar. You recognize this stop sign. You recognize that stoplight. You know this street name. You do not have to think so hard about it because it is familiar. However, you are using the exact same navigational skill, the exact same power of perception, whether you are familiar with where you are going or not. And this is exactly the same for in relationships with those that are close to you or not close to you. In some cases, the familiarity with the person is one of love. In other cases, the familiarity is one of discomfort or unallowing or invalidation. Again, it is the same practice of the power of perception. In this case, though, you are not looking for street signs or street lights or lefts or right, but what you are looking for are emotional indications of how the energy is flowing in that moment with that particular individual or groups of individuals. And why is this important? Why do we bring this up? Because it is your emotions as your superpower that indicates the direction in which you are currently mentally focused. And if you are having an interaction with a dear one or a not dear one, and you are feeling uncomfortable about it, it means that you are literally looking at something mentally that is causing the discomfort. The person itself and the experience itself are not causing the discomfort. What you are focused on is causing the discomfort. It is absolutely vital to be clear on this concept. Given that concept and that clarity, you then can stop for a moment, using your powers of navigational perception, which you have already fine-tuned because you exist on this planet and have been navigating this life for however long you have been alive, this moment. Wink, wink. You use this moment and you say, I am feeling this way. What is it that I'm thinking that is causing? Oh, I am invalidating this person's perspective, for example. I am remembering how this person hurt me, for example. I am appreciating this person's very presence. I don't even care what they say. I enjoy their very presence. So again, noting these individual perspectives and viewpoints. And the reality is that you have the power to choose what to think about regarding this particular person, individual, group, encounter, experience, what have you. We're going to allow Greg to give you an interesting example. So years ago, my father needed heart surgery, and he went into the hospital and they did one of those replacements. Like I think they gave him a valve from a cow heart or something, right? And I flew out to see him. He was in Massachusetts, and I think I was in San Francisco, and I hadn't seen him in ages. And my father, throughout my childhood, my father was very critical of everything. He was somebody that I was afraid of, who he pushed the buttons of me and my siblings, and just you could just never do right. There was nothing that I could ever do that seemed to be even satisfactory, particularly when it came to mowing the lawn, which I was not very perfectionist at all. So anyways, after his heart surgery, he was in recovery and he had his own room in the hospital, and I came and I visited him, and he was resting when I got there, and I sat, and it was the first time that I had ever been able to actually see my father as vulnerable. Here was this stoic, non-emotional, hypercritical, stubborn man who was also a man of deep faith, very religious. And here he was recovering from a surgery that went brilliantly. And here he was in complete vulnerability, absolutely out of control, and all my grievances with him just suddenly disappeared, because in that moment I realized that he was as human as I was. I had been multiple years in my spiritual growth and recovery by that point. I'd been really, really working on myself and growing a lot, and so I was able to bring that level of awareness to that encounter. And I just sat there, and for the first time in my whole life, and I think I was in my 30s at that point, and the first time in my whole life, I felt a sweetness for my father that I had never, ever felt. I had always invalidated or resisted him. I'd always pushed against who he was. And from that point onward, I had no more resistance, just had love. I just had this sweetness. There was this preciousness and this deep appreciation. And I thank life for that moment, that ability to see this moment of vulnerability of my father. And I never told him. There was no need. That was all just for me. So in that moment, I was able to see him differently, and all the all the pain, all the thoughts, all the resentments, all the grievances were just washed away. They were just gone. Is that helpful, Allison? How is that feeling? Does that resonate? Do you have any questions about that? So the council is also telling me the entire point of this is that you have everything you need for navigating these, particularly because you're leading a heart-led life. You just have to use that as a tool. Yes, good, I'm glad. She says the visual of taking an alternate route is helpful. Yeah. Wonderful. That was a great question. I love your guys' questions. I love you guys. Just period. Yes, that was a fun visual. Awesome. Are you complete, my dear? Shall we move on? Would anyone else like to get on the wheel for a reading? Looks like we still have time. Yeah, I loved their explanation about how you navigate, how you use the same navigational skill, your same perceptual powers of perception to navigate, whether you're familiar with the route or not familiar with the route. I loved that. Never heard that before. Allison says, this is the best advice just prior to going for vacation with my folks and in-laws. Ha, I'm complete. Thank you. That's cool. Oh, so you're going on vacation. So we won't see you next Thursday then. Maybe on the 1st for the Celebrate Love Party. All right. Anybody else want to get on the list? Hello, Gary. Good to see you. Who else came in? Say hi if you wish to. I'm a big fan of peanut butter too. I actually like almond butter better than peanut butter. Sorry. For those that don't know, it's an inside reference to Pita Brook. Gary calls her PB and started calling her peanut butter. You're having some on celery. Love that for you. Oh, okay, Allison. Well, if you overdo some for me. Denise, I'd be happy to add you to the list. Everybody gets a chance at a reading here because I use a wheel to choose the names instead of having to do it myself. I love letting the universe and spirit and intuition guide. All right, anyone else want to get on the wheel on the list for a reading before I spin it again? Hey, Yvonne, how are you? Your C is missing again. Good to see you. All right. Oh, first time ever, Denise. Congratulations. It's nice to have you here. All right, here we go. Spinning, spinning. Mildred's 2. Wonderful. Welcome to Readings from the Heart and to our beautiful community. If you want to stay notified of things, please do follow on Insight Timer. I'm at 688 followers. I'd love to reach 700 by New Year's. That'd be super freaking cool. Also, if you are the type that enjoys doing things off of Insight Timer, you can sign up for my newsletter right here at this link, news.yegreg.com or at yegreg.com. Yegreg.com is my teacher's link. You can find it on my profile if you forget it. It's on the About tab all the way down at the bottom. And that's where I have all my links to everything outside of and inside of Insight Timer, including the place where I put the recordings of these lives up, the tube of you, as we call it. Yeah, but the newsletter is really, really special. It's an opportunity to stay informed. And every month we send out this really beautiful recording, a video recording called Questions for the Council. So all the newsletter subscribers get to ask questions every month, any kind of question they want to the council. Doesn't have to be personal. It could be personal. It could be something about the universe or about life or about spirituality or a concept they heard. It could be about aliens, whatever you want. And then I record it with a helper's help, with the help of a helper. And then that's shared to the newsletter subscribers just for them. I apologize to anyone on the newsletter right now. This new job has been keeping me very busy, and the stress about moving, that is all starting to calm down. So the newsletter, I missed the last 2 weeks, but you know what? I was taking care of myself. So that is what was important at the time. Yeah, but we're coming up on another recording for Questions for the Council for the end of December. Yes, Yvonne, it has been a while. Oh, you're listening while driving. Wonderful. Oh, Mindy, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. You could be late together. There is no such thing as late here in my lives, because even when you show up late, hi, Jasmine. Oh, it's good to see that you're new too. Even when you're late, you can get a reading. Okay, so the wheel picked Anissa. Anissa's the next winner. Yay. You are the next winner on the wheel of good guidance. Jasmine, I can add you to the list if you would like. But yes, look, we're all looking for guidance in one form or another. Ooh, Anissa, you had your question ready already. All right, Anissa says, I'm having trouble thinking of a question. Oh, can you maybe provide me more insight on my spiritual journey or whatever messages may pop up? Okay, so let's see. All right, Anissa. Close your eyes and take your left hand and place it right here on the center of your chest on your beautiful heart chakra. And I invite you to move your mind's eye, and anybody can do this if they're struggling with or having difficulty finding a question. So I invite you to move your mind's eye to the spot where your hand is touching your chest and just feel into the warmth of that physical connection. How present your hand is to that spot. Neither the hand or the heart chakra have any stories or judgment or analysis about this very moment. They're just connecting, sensing each other. Both the hand and the heart are holding space for this time of connecting. And therefore you are holding space as well. And deep inside that space is your own personal knowing. Your heart of hearts knows what you are seeking. And all you need to do is but ask it. So I invite you to just ask your heart, what is it I most need to know about right now? And allow either a question or a phrase or a word to come up. And whatever that is, Anissa, when it bubbles up, write it into the chat. And that's what we'll roll with. So what bubbled up, Anissa? Anissa says, I'm dealing with confidence issues. I have felt like I have regressed back to old habits. Okay, wonderful. Good, powerful, honest, heartfelt question. Very good. Okay. Here, guys. Come. Now, dear Anissa, this indeed is a powerful asking. This indeed is a powerful question. We honor and understand and acknowledge that this is currently a struggle for you. Allow us to offer an alternative perspective on what is going on. You say that you are dealing with confidence issues and that you feel as though you have regressed. We understand this perspective. However, this perspective is inherently flawed on two different bases. The first is that the concept of regression actually is based on a belief in something other than how things actually work. There is no regression in life. You are always, in every single moment of every single day, always, forever, and constantly expanding. We encourage you to reframe your view of this away from the linear perspective of backwards or forwards, and more into, because these indeed are on one line. This is what you would call two-dimensional. There is backwards, there is forwards, and there is now. Well, the funny thing is there is no time or space, and there is no past or present. So if there is no past or present, there is no backwards or forwards. There is only now. And in the now, what you are capable of is expanding or collapsing. Now, the collapse, we do not mean this in a non-positive way, but expanding or retraction. Thank you, better term. Expansion or retraction. Now, neither this size of a hole or this size of a hole is either good or bad. Do you follow? Even the size of a dime, and we are speaking in terms of the size of your connection to source, is what we're referring to. It does not matter whether your connection to source is as big as a dime, or as big as a watermelon, or as big as a manhole cover, or as big as the planet Earth. It does not matter to your connection what size it is. What is essential to recognize in the moment of where your connection to source, to spirit, to connection to who you really are is the degree, the intensity, the amount of flow that that particular size connection allows. And so in this moment, your connection to your confidence is perhaps this big, maybe smaller. Do you follow so far? Okay, so if you're following this concept and this visualization as we move the hands. So what is important is not the size. The important is connecting to how much is flowing. So you are never not confident, because it is impossible to shrink the connection to your spirit, to yourself, to who you really are, down to non-existence. It's impossible. There's no such thing. It can get down to the pin size, so you only have a trickle as though drops out of a faucet, but you are never not with it. And so when you are not feeling confident, the other perspective that we wish to offer, and we borrow this from our friend Bashar, is that you are actually confident in your non-confidence. So let that sink in for a moment. What is confidence? It is belief in oneself. What is not feeling confident? It is not believing in oneself. And yet, as you are not believing in oneself, you are believing in something. You're just not believing in yourself. You are believing that you are not worthy. You are believing that you are not good enough. You are believing that you are not capable. You are believing that whatever, fill in the blank. We are hoping that this is making sense, because what we are wanting to point out in this example is that when you feel like you are lacking something, you are not lacking it, you are just experiencing it and having it towards something that you are not preferring, towards something that is causing you discomfort, towards something, a belief that you have formed that isn't of, shall we say, the positive experience. So instead of saying that you are lacking confidence, what we would say is that you are confident in your lack. Allow that to sink in. You are confident in your view of inability. Now, when you suddenly begin to realize that this is the energetic dynamic that is occurring, you can stop and you can almost sort of laugh at it. Oh my goodness, that's right. I'm feeling quite powerfully about my inability. I'm feeling quite confident about my lack. It's not what I'm wanting. This is not what I'm preferring. This is not what I'm choosing. Recognize this counter belief, if you will. Acknowledge it as we spoke earlier. Acknowledge it. Allow it to be. Ask it a question. Form a relationship with it. What are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to indicate? You might actually have a good chuckle or laugh and suddenly realize, I am really confident. I'm just confident in the opposite of what I'm wanting to be confident in. Well, if I'm confident in the opposite of what I'm confident in, then I am absolutely, completely capable, 100% worthy of being confident in whatever I want to be in. I think I will start to practice choosing to be confident in those areas now. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable at first as you move from one type of confidence to the other. But the minute you stop invalidating, pushing away and resisting, pushing against the confidence in your lack and inability, you begin to see that you indeed intrinsically, as who you are, your very isness, holds confidence. You just have been not practicing aiming that in the direction that you prefer. And so we invite and encourage you to practice aiming it in a new direction, trying it on for size, seeing how it feels. Always, my friends, always, always, always use your heart space and your emotions to evaluate how a perspective, a thought, or a belief is feeling. For these will let you know whether it is pointed in the direction of your highest self, of who you really are, of love, Oof. Wow. That's cool. Anissa, how are you feeling? Do you understand? You feel great. There you go. Oh, I'm glad it resonated. Yeah. I'm glad you're receiving it, because it's funny because it's a very simple but very deep concept that they shared with you. And it really, to me, it feels like part of, they didn't say this, but part of the energy of what they were conveying was that your very existence is, and all of what you're wanting, it's not even what you're wanting. How do I say this? That even when we think that we aren't something or don't have a certain ability or certain something, we are having it. It's just we're just focusing that spot, like they were talking about, in a different way. It's like they're saying that our very existence embodies all of that, all the confidence, the love, the presence, the groundedness, and we just have these experiences. They're not wrong, they're not bad. We just have these experiences of these moments where we recognize or are recognizing that we're not connecting with those, whatever you want to call them, superpowers, aspects, characteristics, factors in our life, right? But we are connecting with them from that very same place, from this very, very same power of confidence or love or groundedness or stability or whatever, you know? Oh, Mindy, I'm glad it resonated for you too. And Lisa says, yeah, it's almost like getting back in tune with my self-energy. Exactly. Yeah, very much so. Awesome. Are you complete, my dear? Thank you for your asking. It was such an awesome, powerful asking. You are welcome. Thank you to you too. Thank you so much. Okay, last call for getting on the wheel to get a reading. Anybody else want to add their name to the wheel? Please say so in chat. Yes, Jasmine, it is a very deep concept, and that particular example, I could feel that it was very specific to Anissa. So that may be why that you're getting a glimpse of it. I could feel you getting a glimpse of it, Jasmine. So keep an open heart, keep an open mind, and just hold spaciousness for it as you go through your day. Watch and observe it. All right, Peter. Good to see you, dear. All right, last call for names on the list. No? Yes? All right, I'll shuffle again and spin the wheel. This will be our last reading for the day. I look forward to seeing anybody who wishes to join us next Thursday, December 26th, at least my time, the day after Christmas. I will try and find a Christmas background. I mean, I love this background. This is actually good for winter. Yes, let's see, who do we got? Mildred! Mildred is the very last person the wheel has chosen today. Are you still here, Mildred? Yay, Mildred! Congratulations! How can I be of assistance to you today? What guidance do you seek? Allison says, yeah, that was powerful. Another great visual to lean on. Oh, cool. Thanks to everybody for being here today. It's always a joy to have you present with us as we seek out guidance and celebrate our own ahas. Everybody's ahas. I love celebrating other people's ahas. If you're not following me already, please feel free to do so. I think you know how to do that. Or you can also follow me off of Insight Timer here and keep in touch with all my different things that are going on, socials and whatnot. The recording for this live should be up within the next half hour, depending on if I have any other things to do before then. So, Mildred says, I'm needing to learn how to love myself. Fascinating. So I'm going to help you with this right away, Mildred. I don't even need to talk to the guides on this one. What I want to invite you to do is find a new way to phrase what you just said. Bye, Peter. See you, dear. Have a great Christmas. So, Mildred, just say what you wrote out loud to yourself if you can. If you're in an environment where you can't say it loud, at least just sort of whisper it. Simply say, needing to learn how to love myself. And tap into your heart space and listen for how it feels when you say that. I'm needing to learn how to love myself. Make sure you breathe through it. It hurts. Yeah. Okay. And just be present with that hurt, my dear. I'm needing to learn how to love myself. Which words of that sentence, which words tie to the hurt? I'm needing to learn how to love myself. Listen as you say each word out loud. Listen with your heart and listen for which word is where you feel the hurt. I'm needing to learn how to love myself. The whole phrase may hurt, but which word hurts the most? I realize this might be challenging, so just keep breathing through it. You're doing great. Love myself. And when you think about loving yourself, what do you think about? What comes up in your mind? Any stories? Hey, Hannah, good to see you. Happy holidays to you. What does it mean to love yourself? Anybody's free to share on this. It's a very potent and personal response. So if you are feeling inspired to share, what does it mean to love yourself? I would offer that loving yourself means that you love who you are. Place your own needs before others. That's an action. That is an action of self-care, and while that is valid, dig deeper. What does it mean to love yourself? Not how do you love yourself, not what are the ways in which you can love yourself, because indeed placing your own needs before others is indeed a way to show your self-love. But what does it mean to love yourself? Mindy says honor yourself. Denise says to embrace yourself, accept yourself. Alice says for me, it's showing up for myself in all the ways I want others to. Denise is being honest. What I'm driving at is that okay, so similar to what the council was talking about for Anissa, where she was focused in that moment about a lack of confidence. You actually do love yourself. But you're not loving yourself the way that you want to. And think about it in terms of beliefs. Loving yourself is believing in what? When you love yourself, what do you believe in? When you don't love yourself, what do you believe in? Oh, they're wanting to talk. 1 second. Our dear Mildred, we understand that this is indeed incredibly challenging for you at this time. So we encourage you to just simply breathe deeply. You are expressing, continue to breathe through this as we talk, Mildred. Deep breaths in through the nose. Fill your chest as much as you can. Let go of any thoughts or typing or thinking. Just breathe. And when you exhale, we invite you to exhale through your mouth. You can make it audible if you wish, but make the exhale extended as long as you can. Breathe out as deeply as you can, expending all the air from your lungs. And then once it's all gone, begin to inhale again through the nose. We invite you to continue to breathe in this fashion, slow, gentle, and comfortable as we speak with you. The concept of needing to love yourself is essentially based in a viewpoint of lack. You are looking at yourself and you are thinking about yourself and you are seeing what isn't there. And this is making you uncomfortable. This is not making you uncomfortable because what isn't there isn't really there, or indeed it is truly there. What is making you feel uncomfortable is your viewpoint about what is there. Now, this can come from many different kinds of beliefs. This can come from borrowed beliefs that you had taken on from family members, from culture, from society, from schooling. This can come from observations from when you were younger or as you grew up, beliefs that you formed based on what you were witnessing and seeing, for at that time you did not know any better, to look and view things differently. So it does not matter where this belief in what is missing has come from. What does matter is your acknowledgement that this belief exists. For the essence of this fallacy is that you are lacking. You are not lacking. You would not be present at this time on planet Earth, in this body, in this moment, were you lacking. For indeed, in this very moment, all that you are looking at and seeing lack, all of it exists. But your mind is not trained. You have not taken the time to train your mind to look for evidence of its very existence. And so when you say that you are needing to learn how to love yourself, we offer that you should reframe this, our friend, dear Mildred, reframe this and say it differently. Perhaps something such as, I'm needing to learn how to see myself as love. I'm needing to learn, let go of the needing. I am wanting to learn how to see myself through the eyes of love. I am wanting to learn how to see myself as love. I am wanting to see myself loving myself. I'm wanting to see all that is good about me. I am seeing all that is good about me, for I know that I would not exist in this very body were I not worthy. Were I not worthy to be here. You would not even exist were you not worthy. Do you realize that? Your existence would not be. And because you exist, therefore you are worthy. Now, your beliefs will be screaming at this point. Continue to breathe deeply, my friend. Your beliefs are screaming right now. They are wanting you to invalidate yourself. And this is how you cause yourself harm. This is the very root at looking to others for validation. Because you have practiced invalidating yourself for so long that you feel as though the only alternative is to find it outside of yourself. But my friend, everything outside of yourself isn't real. Everything inside of yourself is. So you will never, ever find what you are looking for in another individual, in a substance, in an experience, until you find it in yourself. For everything that is occurring outside of yourself is simply the reflection of who you really are. Same as the reflection that stares at you in the mirror when you stand in front of it. And what happens when the reflection in front of you in the mirror is frowning? Do you sit there and insist that the reflection smile before you do? No, this, you know, is somewhat silly, if not absolutely redunculous, because you know that the way that the reflection works is it's responding to you. For that is how the mirror is designed. It responds to you. So how you feel yourself is indeed, how you feel about yourself is indeed a mirror. So you have the choice to look for all that is good. And you can start, we encourage you to start small. Begin in a very simple way. I am, and that is enough. I am who I am, and that is enough. I am who I am, and that is enough. And when you feel the voices and the stories and the beliefs screaming at you, do not run away from them, my dear. Do not push them away. Look at them. They are parts of you asking for acknowledgement. I see you, story that tells me I am incapable. I see you, story that tells me that I can't do this or that I am not allowed to be who I want to be, whatever the stories are. I see you. I see you. Thank you for your service. I'm willing to believe differently. You do not need to know what to believe to replace them. You just need to be willing to believe differently. But it starts with acknowledging your very existence. So when you are saying that you are wanting to love yourself, it is about loving not just who you are, but loving that you are. Acknowledging your very existence is the beginning of this. And we assure you, if you do not engage with and acknowledge the beliefs, you might feel better for a time. But as this unfolds, the more you resist and insist on things being a certain way based on those beliefs, the more you ignore those beliefs instead of digging into them, looking at them with love and compassion and an open heart and an open mind, the harder this will be. Also, you know you're getting close to your goal, if you will. Goal's not the right term, but you know you're getting close to making the true connection you are seeking when the stories and thoughts and belief systems are rearing their ugly heads the most. This is the most important time to be present, compassionate for these stories, as our friend said earlier, these old narratives, to hold space for them, to look at them without fear. Even with the fear, look at them with the fear. Take the fear in hand and together look at them. For they are more than just, they cannot harm you. They're simply just monsters that live under the bed or in the closet, that when the light is shed upon them, you see them for what they are. They will fight the hardest as you get closer to connecting. As you get closer to making this connection, deepening this understanding. Do not fear as they grow stronger. You are not going backwards. There is no backwards. We already spoke of this. You are just getting close to unearthing this belief and a point in which you no longer need the belief and can let it go. We understand and we acknowledge that this process can feel difficult, but I encourage you to do it to the best of your ability. You do not have to do it perfectly. But as you do it, we guarantee that you will begin to feel a sense of relief as you let go of each thought and each belief and each definition that no longer serves you. For you are hurting, Mildred, not because you think you aren't worthy, but because you are believing in something that is not true. That is why you are hurting. The hurting is acknowledging, is letting you know, it is reflecting that what you are believing is not the truth. Our friends, we want to thank you for your presence here today. It is always a joy, and it is always so amazing to be here with you, to listen to your hearts, to field your questions, and to hold this beautiful space of love and guidance. And as always, we wish you the best. And know that your guides are always surrounding you, and that you are always deeply loved, safe, and secure. Mildred, how are you doing, dear? Hannah's saying that self-love is a message that keeps coming up for her. I think it means to accept that I am complete in the present moment, freedom to improve in the future, but accepting myself for who I am right now. Beautiful, Hannah, yes. Mildred says, wow. Oh, is that a sad face? What is that? Oh, Mindy, thanks for the heart. Mildred, how's that feeling? Oh, you're emotional. Yes, let it go, my dear. Release, release, release. Have a good cry. Have a good cry if you need to. It's all good. I've had several good cries in the last few weeks. Huh. I feel so much better afterwards. Yes, Mildred, this is for you too. You are love. The path to self-love is recognizing who you really are, and this has nothing to do with your qualities or capabilities. I had a very interesting insight earlier this week. I'm going to share this with you guys, and then I've got to go. Do you know the origins of the word capability? Our definition in the Oxford Dictionary says the power or ability to do something. But the etymology of the word, the origins of the word, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong word. The etymology of the word comes from the Latin, I don't know how to say this, capere. And that means to take or hold. Capable. In the 16th century, that word was formed and it meant able to take in. Capable, the roots, the origin of the word capable meant to be able to, not to be able, the ability to receive, capere, to take in and hold, to receive and hold. Every single one of us is able to receive and hold. It's how we were designed. We were born with it. So capable did not start as meaning the ability to do something. That's what it means today in the dictionary, but it started meaning the ability to take or hold. Isn't that wild? So if you think about it energetically, the formation of that word energetically was about allowing and receiving and your ability to hold space. Not ability, but holding space, holding. Not doing, being. The very root of the word capable originates from the concept of being. And you be. You're right there. I mean, I can't see you, but you be. You are. You are right now. We are. I am. You are. We are. We be. We already be. We don't have to do. Yes, there are certain aspects of life in which, we literally do things. But when it comes to worth, it's not based on accomplishments. It's not based on doing. When we think about capability, just think about the origins of that. Look it up for yourself if you wish. It's fascinating. It is truly fascinating. We are capable of love, of taking in and holding love. Oh, Joanne says she's been teaching her friend the last few weeks to just be. Yeah. All right, my friends. Oh, the music just finished. I guess that's the cue to be done. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to just put it back on. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you, every single one of you, for being here, whether you asked a question or not, or whether you just soaked up the energy in the environment. Love it. Please do come back another time. I look forward to seeing you. If you celebrate Christmas or any other holiday that is in between now and the 26th, I wish you the most amazing, happiest, and joyful time. Whether you are alone like I will be or not, it doesn't matter. Celebrate your isness, celebrate your beingness, and I just hope that it is a wonderful time for you. I'm going to be playing games and eating yummy food and hanging out. Yes, you are welcome. We are never alone, Joanne says. Linda. Yay, I won't be alone because Linda will be alone too. So we'll be alone together. I love that. Have a magical Christmas. As I like to say, Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year. Isn't in England, don't they say Happy Christmas instead of Merry? I think that's... Well, the next day I have a live, so we can be together. We can be alone together at the next live. So, all right, my dear friends, do take care of yourselves. I'm so glad for today's session. Thank you for your time and your presence and just being who you are. And I'm going to send you off. Be well. We'll see you soon. Blessings to all. Bye-bye.